Hello, welcome to a Whimsy Wednesday. I hope everyone is doing well. Here it is bright, sunny. We're under a heat advisory. It's actually so sunny that this midday, I can't seem to get the glare to go away. So there's a couple glare spots going on. I'll admit, I'm kind of feeling lazy. I think it is the, what do they call it, dog days of summer, and that whole lazy time. Honestly, with the impending coming weeks ahead, I think part of my body's saying, you're going to stop now and just chillax. But of course, there are the requirements of life, and so yes, I did all the adult things this morning and took care of some, bills and registration and all of those goodies. So check, those got done, and then I went on a little quick venture and picked up from a friend's mom, not one, but 3 matching hat stands. Do you like it, Clara Rose? What do you think? You can't come over because I got something else on this table. So there's 3. One very tall one. Oh, there you can see the sun. I am so sorry. One very tall one, and then 2 that are this height, and they're hefty. Which is lovely. So they're not going to topple over. They've got this beautiful curve going on here. 2 of them have a little brass, I believe it's brass, it might be copper, it's hard to see, band here just below the top. Nice solid tops and solid bottoms. So they are going to get to host a few hats and bonnets over the coming months and years. Very delighted to get those. Finding nice hat stands is hard. For the most part, they make it into shops, and sellers don't want to part with them because they are wonderful display pieces. Hats and bonnets, of course, and then other items look really nice draped over top of some of these. And then admittedly, I suspect, you see how nice and beautifully long the neck here is. I worry that over years these have met their demise. So it's hard to get some of these, let alone a set of 3. So I am so happy I was able to do that. She was willing to part with those to me. So yay. And then I have another yay right here. If you've been following the blog, I just did a nifty event out at the museum where I got to focus on Emma and Regency Millinery. And as part of that weekend, I got to work with 2 fabulous interpreters. Liz and Lynn are wonderful to work with. They work in the front part of the house and interpret the house, the family, and then a thematic piece that goes along with the building that changes every couple months. So I'm not going to tell you what that is. You have to go see. So on Sunday, Lynn brought me something, and it's a lovely little something. It's little, it's fragile. It has one side that's in really good shape and one side that has well, some loss. I think it had been stored on its one side, or it shifted in its box at some point. But there's parts of this that are incredible, and then parts of this that are a little tattered. Okay, so this is a 1880s bonnet. It is quite petite. Some might ask if it's a children's. I can't say one way or another. Let me pull the ruler out here just to give you some measurements. So if this will give you an idea. So width-wise, that's giving me, looking in the mirror, 1, 2, 3, about 4 inches in width. 4 inches. Maybe I turn this way. 4 inches by 5 inches for the very back of the crown. The front, I'm going to have to estimate this from where I think the center point is to the side. I think we're looking at 7 inches. So it could have been a child's. It could have been a small adult's. This particular bonnet is not going to sit on the head per se. It's of course on your head, but it's more sitting on the hair. It's perched in the hair. It's not encompassing the head. It's part of that trend where the bonnets got smaller and smaller as you worked through the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s into some very petite little pieces for the backs of the head. So looking at the back here, this is called by some a horseshoe bonnet, and I'm going to show you a couple photos that might help you see that a little better. See if I can hold left and right here. Okay, so this is a piece from the Met, and that kind of shows you a little better about the horseshoe. And then let's do the back of this one. This up. This is a example from Pam Robles' collection. You can see the horseshoe shape there quite distinctly. The version I have definitely has a circular start to the tip of the crown, and as you get down underneath these beautiful ribbons, that's where it's going to form more of the horseshoe shape. So the outline's more of the horseshoe. Now here's where the damage, I think, really is surprising, and I do think is a storage issue, and somebody's really sad out there because the ribbons are in gorgeous shape. I'm going to show you the inside. The inside is in gorgeous shape. The damage is right through here with a tiny bit of damage here. So looking at the side, you can see the black plate, okay? And these are machine sewn, and then there's this gorgeous fancy plate. This combines what I believe is a whole straw and then a set of, I don't know what to call this. It has a name. I can't remember the name. But basically you're folding a strand back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, 2 strands back and forth. Something we would have done with boondoggle. So that is worked into the plate, and there are 3 or 4 rows of that. I believe it's 3 down through this area, and this might be a 4th through there. Alright, so the reverse. You can see basically all of that fancy plate is missing. It's missing from almost the midpoint around. The wire sticks out. I'll show you the front of the wire in a second. Because on the side closest to me with less damage, it's very oval. On the side closest to you, it's almost flat. And then there is some more damage up towards the top. Alright, so I'm going to hold her like this, and you can see. Alright, so on my right hand side, on the camera, the side over here, you can see it's nice and oval. On the other side, it's very flat. If I angle it like this, there you go. You can see how beautiful that polished cotton is inside, and there is an old accession number there. I don't know where this actually came from. She did say she picked it up at a sale for only a few dollars. You can see the damage over here. This section through here is the only completely undamaged section for that front piece. You can see the wire is a wire covered with horsehair and then thread. angle that. You can see how the lace is applied to the brim section. There's not much difference between the crown and the brim on this particular piece, or this style in general. You could call this the crown and then this the brim. There's a slight shift from going forward. Let's see, there we go. You might be able to see that. Forward in the straw, and then it begins to flare a bit. And then this flares a little further. The inside, the lining is 2 pieces, the horseshoe shape in the back, and then the band through the brim. And that is hand stitched in with black thread. Then there's the black lace. And there are sadly bits, there you go, bits of the straw just kind of dangling off. And I do actually have a piece in my sewing kit from the day. I want to sit here and like coax this wire back into shape. Interesting piece, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I'll see if I can hold it so you can. Underneath the black dye, it almost looks brown. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. I'll see if I can get a photo for you, but right here in through this area on the fancy part of the brim, the straw just looks darker underneath. Let's see, you want to see the flowers here. It is just a simple lace set in to the brim, some loops on the top, and simple little almost violet type. Is that going to focus? Almost like violets for the flowers. I'll get photos of that for you. And they are purple and white. So of course that's going to bring about the next question. Is a morning piece. It could be, but not necessarily. Not all black pieces are morning, of course. I'm noticing that the way this was put together, so they are curves of lace with the flowers tucked in each curve, actually. The flowers are in okay shape. There's some broken wires. Oh, for those that don't know, purple is a morning color. Certain shades of purple. There's a random hair over here on the side, entwined in the flowers. I'm not going to pull that out, just in case. There are at least 3 shades of white, or maybe that was pink, through to purple in these flowers. And I do think they are meant to be little violets. So back to the morning question. It could be, but very much not necessarily is. I think that angle gives you the best picture of what this piece would have originally looked like. Again, the back and the one side are in decent shape for its age, and you know, being displayed at a yard sale. And who knows, it might have been in a box somewhere and just shifted prior to its accession life, or during its accession to life. It is bound. You can see the little binding straw right here. So now that I have one of these little guys in hand, I think I'm going to have to make a little horseshoe at some point. These bows are 1, 2, 3 loops on that one. 1, 2, 3 on this one. And the ties are actually separate. So those bows very easily could be the ones from the Manitou maker. Very simple, popular way to make bows. Alright, so it's sewy. I don't know if it'll even fit. Nope, it does not. You couldn't see that anyway. So I'm going to have to figure out its little storage plan. So it's been living in a bag, which just keeps its little bits together, but it deserves some acid-free tissue and a comfy set of dividers so it doesn't slide and squish anymore. I'll take a few measurements, more than what I did here on camera. Noticing, okay, so there's some stitch marks in the ribbon here, which tell me it actually used to sit up here on the front. There is some suggestion of that over here on this side too, where it's all been torn apart. So it's a nice little study piece, cute to look at. I'd love to be able to recreate this fancy braid over here. But what I think I can do is the back. I may or may not be able to pull off quite as fancy a front. I can try to come up with something. Not sure what that something necessarily will be. We'll see what happens. And maybe we'll have a little horseshoe soon in the future. I'm gonna need some more archival boxes. I know years ago I told myself I'm not allowed to collect straw, and that was because I had no temperature or humidity control in the room where I was storing everything. Here I've got central air. As dry as I feel like it gets in the winter, the temperature is, the humidity is better here. No, honey. So yeah, now I have straw, and now I need more boxes and more space. Okay, so I have a bonnet to get back to. Though I have had to put new skin on my fingers. I managed to tear them up on Saturday at the museum. I must not have been paying enough attention. I think I went through this finger a few times, sewing and talking. So I didn't even notice it Saturday. I noticed it halfway through Sunday, and then sewing yesterday. I'm like, oh, that's a problem. So I've glued that together. Basically what new skin is super glue. And so a few layers of that. Honey, no. You gotta go back. Gotta go back. No. Hey, Mommy will hold this over here. Okay, she's not the best archival cat. We'll give her that. All right. Thank you all for joining us. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.